Hey, what's going on everyone? Matthew from therighttrader.com here, back today with another price prediction, analysis, and forecast video, this time on EOS, or EOS, I'm not sure how you pronounce the name, but it's a cryptocurrency that I personally sort of looked over and didn't really pay much attention to until it started breaking out. So today it had a really nice update, up over 30% here, which really put it pretty high up in the market cap rankings, up to the 18th spot right now. So as per usual, I'm going to be going over and doing my price prediction for the next 6 to 12 months. So for 2017 to 2018, I will also be doing a more detailed technical analysis and, just quickly go over the fundamentals and the community size. Before I do that, though, I'll just give a quick shout out to my cryptocurrency price predictions playlist. I'll leave a link to this in the description and in the comments below. But if you're interested in hearing my thoughts on other cryptocurrencies, definitely go and check this playlist out. Now, let's start off with going over the subreddit, just to gauge sort of the size of the community for EOS. And it's just under 4,000 readers, so pretty good size for where it's ranking, obviously. Since it ranked pretty high, quickly, it's still a little bit low compared to some of the others in that category, but it's a decent size nonetheless, right? And that's what matters. Now, as far as the website goes and sort of the fundamentals, I just wanted to point out that this picture is pretty unprofessional in my opinion. I think that it looks kind of stock imagey, and that's not the best sign, but it's how it is in these cryptocurrencies websites sometimes. I just feel like it could be better, and their website isn't the most streamlined in my opinion. I feel like it is a bit messy, so it might be a weird way to gauge things, but that's not something that I want to see. Now, in EOS's defense, they are explaining, everything that they're working on. Of course, they're working on being a platform for decentralized applications, and more specifically, the best out there, which means that they're going to try to take on Ethereum. I guess that's fair to say. And, I'd like a little bit more clarity on how they want to go about doing that. But, of course, they claim that they want to be, more scalable, easier to use as a decentralized applications infrastructure, like they say. And something that's important to point out is their token distribution is still ongoing, which is actually this is not common at all, right? This is a particularity to EOS, and I think that might be affecting the price a bit, so I'll get to that in a second. But basically, their token distribution is ongoing for, I think they mentioned it here, 341 days, right? So that's something to really pay attention to. And, I think they did their best to try to make their website streamlined, but I feel like it could definitely be better. But, it's forgivable. So moving over to, sort of the numbers here, what are we working with? Let's go over to the exchanges really quickly. As you can see, it's on a lot of the bigger exchanges, which is great to see. And, of course, today was a big breakout day, so it has massive volume. But even in the, in the previous days, it did have some good volume for its market cap. So no real concerns as far as liquidity goes, which is good to see. Now, market cap now really moving up there, right? Almost at $500 million. And what I was mentioning with the token distribution affecting the price was, as you can see, right, it started trading back in July 2017, and pretty much right from the start started dropping, right, and kind of had a very sluggish fall till now, where it really started getting, a bit of a breakout and seemed to have put in a bit of a rounded bottom. Might start moving back up now. I'll get to that in technical analysis. But this long dragged out fall, right, that we see here might be because there was continuously, tokens being distributed because of how they dealt with that, right? So I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I feel like that's definitely a possibility. Now, as far as the supply goes, this is something that I'm not a very big fan of. The supply is definitely a bit too high for my liking. Now, sometimes it's forgivable and stuff, but anything over 100 million is personally a bit much for my personal liking. So, of course, people disagree on this, but I like to see, more scarce and tighter supplies, right? The total supply seems to be at a billion. So that's like I said, a little bit more than I'd like. Now, moving over to, the technical analysis now, And just kind of to recap, basically there's some things that I like with EOS, and some things that, I think could be improved upon. So there's some good and bad with this one. But the price action right now is actually pretty bullish, right? And, I never argue with price action. So let me go ahead and zoom in a bit for you, just so you get a better understanding of what's going on. And I'm going to go ahead and draw some important, downtrend lines that you should be aware of. So the first thing to pay attention to is, it had this really dragged out downtrend, right? And it sort of broke out of that over here. That one didn't really hold though. So it really had I can almost draw a secondary downtrend line over here so you can get a better idea of what happened exactly. And as you can see, here's where it really started to exit this sort of downtrend channel that it was in, right? Now the MACD actually was divergent here and was actually uptrending while it was, basically flat, which sort of was a precursor to this move right here, right? Same thing for the RSI. Now, of course, today it had a really big breakout, so it's having a bit of a pullback here. It is holding above $1, which is good to see, right? That's something that I'd ideally like for it to hold above $1. And, even if has a bit of consolidation in the next couple of weeks, that's fine. But hopefully it can hold above $1. It's not the end of the world if it dips below that, but, that's something that I like to see. At least hold above this 80-cent level, which is, sort of the previous support level. And looking more forward here to, 6 to 12 month, where do I kind of see this heading? Where's my price prediction? Well, to kind of help me with that, let me draw some horizontal, resistance levels to get a bit of an idea of the different areas that it could face some more severe resistance. So, about $1.20 is where it has some resistance. Now, I think that can be pretty easily broken considering the strength that it had. And I should also mention that it did actually move above that today because what happened today was it had a really big breakout, but unfortunately it wasn't the best day to have a breakout because Bitcoin is getting all the attention with the forks and everything, so the money is pouring out of the altcoins and moving into Bitcoin. So that kind of pulled it back quite a bit and stumped a little bit its breakout. So that kind of explains that. But this $1.20 area is not really something that I'm worried about. I think it can definitely move above that in the next couple months. But I might as well draw it right. Now, the next area that we're going to be looking to is sort of this area right here, right at $2, obviously. That's going to be an important one, and I think it will most likely test this in the next couple months, right? Especially how it's looking right now, we might get a bit of consolidation here, but as soon as we're above this $1.20 level, I think we'll move up to this $2 level and at least test it, right? So that's a good sign. That means that, about a 100% increase is pretty likely already in the next 6 to 12 months. Can it move higher than that? I think it can. And how much higher? Well, now we start getting some really nice growth opportunities, I guess you could say. And once again, EOS will be a little bit capped because, this is a higher market cap one. This is a higher market cap cryptocurrency. So you'll have to be looking ahead towards some of the other big names and see, can it go above something like Monero and stuff like that? That's obviously not going to be easy. So it really depends. But I think it'll definitely go and test the $2 range in the next 6 to 12 months. And I wouldn't be surprised to see it, at least come and, sort of test out the mid $2 levels, even possibly test $3 and come back down. Something like that is possible. But I'm thinking about a 100% increase, probably a bit more in the next 6 to 12 months is what would be reasonable. Of course, it could come and test $3. It could even go higher than that and really get a breakout to maybe new all-time highs. But reasonably here, since the EOS whole project for me lacks a little bit of clarity and a little bit of a direction, I think that I have to keep my price prediction a bit more conservative here. And I'm just going to say about, a 100% increase. So about $2, maybe a bit higher than that. But that's what I'm going to put in for this price prediction. Let me know your thoughts on EOS. Do you like this cryptocurrency? Where do you think it'll be heading in in the next year? I'd be interested to hear your thoughts. Otherwise, thank you for watching, everyone. I really appreciate your great feedback that I've been getting. And have a nice day.